All right, hey guys, Damien Tucker here. We're in the workshop. I had a customer and a Tri-Moto Man viewer ask me to make a video for them. We're gonna be pressing a steering stem out and pressing a steering stem in. It's a critical and crucial step to building the bike. So if you take my clamp and you don't do it properly, you can end up bending it because the clamp's so long. You can create leverage and bend the center of the clamp if you do not support it correctly. The OEM YZ clamp and YZF clamp, I mean, it's pretty small, so you might not generate enough leverage to bend it. But we're just going to make a video about how to press a YZ and YZ450F stem and clamp. So, cut my hair, ready for race day, bringing the mullet back, be sick, and I got a lot of mail for the 450, so pretty jacked about that. That'll come later, be another video. But let's get to it. So we have 2007 YZ450F lower clamp here. Very ugly. Here's my first ever three-wheeler clamp that I made. We even lost a cutter bit through it. I ran this thing for a year though. Worked great. All I did was move these out slightly to fit the steel frame and aluminum frame. I rounded these off. Like I said, this is a prototype. I also added radiuses everywhere for strength. But yeah, this takes me back a lot of hours building this sucker. But basically, same principle here. And we have a 2007 YZ250 two-stroke stem because all the Yamaha stems fit all the clamps. But if you have like an '01 stem, it is slightly larger right here, like just barely. You gotta just whip it out in there with some sandpaper and then it'll fit. But if you try to press the older stem into my clamp or this clamp, it's gonna be a little bit too tight, so you need to sand it slightly. Anything '06 and newer, you're fine. So, grease. You're gonna wanna make sure your stem's clean. This one will work. You're gonna grease this up. You're gonna stick it in through the bottom recessed portion. You want it seated completely to this clip. The clip will set in there. See that? Mine even has that, okay? So that's critical. When you have the stem, you have it down through here, right? You have to support this right here around the hole. Either on this side if you're pressing it in, or on this side you're pressing it out. You have to support right there. If you put a block under here and a block under here, have it up like that, start pressing on it, boom, bent. Theoretically, you could even bend one of these little clamps, but you have a lot less leverage. So guys usually get pretty lucky with those. You could throw your stem in the freezer, get it really cold, get your clamp to room temperature. We're gonna run everything in here at 40 degrees and just see how it goes. So I got this 12-ton press. It came bent from the factory. It's kind of a piece of junk, but you know, it does my clamps and my crank bearings. So here we go. Since I already have them apart, we're going to press it in first, and then I'm going to show you how to press them out. It's going to be just a couple easy steps here. I just checked and I tossed out all my old lower stem bearings because they were bad. So unfortunately, I can't demonstrate putting the bearing on at the same time, but I'll just kind of show you. So here's your sleeve like I mentioned before. So that'll be supported. So I have put a race like that, then put my bearing, then put the clamp, and then stuck it all through. And then I pressed it all at the same time. That way it presses my stem into the clamp and it presses my bearing onto the stem. But you can put the bearing on afterwards. It's not a big deal. I've even seen guys tap them on. I mean, they should go pretty decent. But be aware, I am not recommending pressing things with a bearing race. It's a very hardened metal and they do snap. I have broke one. I mean, it's a way to do it, but it's not the right way to do it. So I'm not telling you to do that. Just find something that will press on your bearing that's not going to damage the bearing. Like something that's a smaller diameter. You know what I mean? So it just runs right on the bearing race on the center and not on the ball bearings. Or sorry, not on the needle bearings. All right, we're about to make contact here. So we have our sleeve that's only supporting around the hole where the stem goes. There's a hole in the middle of these two plates. Make sure everything's gonna be okay. Pressing can be dangerous. Stuff can get dislodged. It can hit you in the face and kill you even. So you wanna do this appropriately. Now, this thing's already bent, but whatever. So we're gonna come down. I got some grease in there. So we're just gonna press this sucker in. Brand new clamps, like my clamps, brand new. The first time you press the stem can be a little tougher than this, but it should still go in nice and smoothly. Sometimes there's one pop before it goes in, and sometimes there's one pop before a stem presses out. Right there, don't go any further. You can see it just started putting pressure. The stem isn't moving anymore, and you can see that it went down fully into the recession. Okay. We're gonna dislodge here. You're gonna have to reset up. Well, you're gonna have to have a different setup for pressing it out, which we will demonstrate. But there you go. And so what I was talking about earlier was your bearing would be sitting right here in between the clamp and that. And then as this went down, it would also press the bearing on right here at the same time. So killing two birds with one stone. All right, let's reset up and let's press the stem out. This is when having a bent press gets sketchy. So I have it off to one side. You want it centered. Mine's off because this is bent. So we're gonna press this out now. Make sure you got all the clearance down underneath here. Make sure it's not gonna hit anywhere. You got your sleeve supported. Stand off to one side in case stuff goes awry. But it looks like it's going nice and smooth here. And this is gonna be tricky one-handed. I'll just let this stem fall. I'll put my foot under there. Usually I catch the stem as it falls out. Oh, there we go. It hit the plate. Perfect. It went a little bit sideways. Anyways, that's that. I mean, super easy. Everyone's kind of scared about it at first. If you do it wrong, you can mess stuff up, but there you go. Same thing with this. This is key right here. Just to support around the stem hole. Like I said, if you do it differently, you're going to break stuff. So, there you go. DT Motorsports, how to press a stem.